Hello book friends, it's Allie, and today I'm going to do my June TBR. It's hard to believe that we are almost into the month of June, but I thought I would go ahead and talk about the books that I plan on reading next month. So to begin with, I'm going to be reading a classic. I try to do one classic a month at least, and it will be The Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling. I believe that's how you say that. I actually haven't read anything up on the Jungle Book. I have seen the children's movie. I don't know if they're similar. I don't actually know a lot about the book. So I'm really excited to kind of see. I've heard that it's good. I've also heard that it's not great. So I don't know what to expect, but I will find out. The next books I'll be reading will be children's literature books. I've got 4 of those, and I plan to read these and then wrap them up at the end of the month and discuss them. First one is The Magic Misfits, the second story. This is by Neil Patrick Harris. I don't actually know what the second one is about. I am currently in the middle of the first one, so it will be in my wrap up for this month. But I'm excited. I think it follows a different person in each one. So this one is a different story, whereas the first one follows a boy named Carter. So we'll see how this one is. I love this cover though. This cover is really pretty. It's all purpley and stuff, so I like that. The next children's literature book will be The Westin Game by Ellen Raskin. This is a Newbery Award-winning book. I have read this a long time ago with my grandmother. I was really young last time I read this, but I remember loving this book, and it is a mystery book. These random people get selected to take part in a will reading, and then murder happens, and they have like this game that they have to figure out. It's been so long since I last read it, I just can't wait to pick it back up and get back into it. Plus, it's super short, so it shouldn't take long at all. The next book is The House of Many Ways by Diana Wynne Jones. This is actually the sequel to Howl's Moving Castle. And I read Howl's Moving... My hair refuses to cooperate. I read Howl's Moving Castle a couple years ago, and I absolutely loved it. And so I really want to read this sequel. I just picked this one up not too long ago, and I've had it on my shelf not too long. I'm really excited, though, because I picked it up at a used bookstore. I'm really excited to continue the story. I know this doesn't exactly follow Howl and Sophie. It kind of is about them, but it's about someone else. I'm not really sure how that works, but I'm excited to find out. The last of the children's literature books will be The Golden Dream of Carlo Chiqui. I believe that's how that's pronounced. This is by Lloyd Alexander, who is one of my favorite children's literature books. I picked this up secondhand at a used bookstore. It looks like a library book. It's library bound, so it's also not that long. The writing is very large in it, so I don't know anything about this book. All it has is actually like a little paragraph from the book on the back, and it just has a little comment about the author in the beginning, so it doesn't talk about what the book is about, and I'm excited to go into this without knowing, so that'll be fun. Alright, I try to read a graphic novel every month. I've been reading the Scott Pilgrim series here lately. I just finished the 5th one, so I plan on reading the 6th one, and this is Scott Pilgrim's Finest Hour. This is the last one in the series, so I have already read this. It's been back a while ago that I last read this, so this reread for me has been like reading them for the first time all over again, which is great because these books are awesome. So this will be wrapping up these graphic novels for me, so I'm excited for that. The next book that I will be reading will be Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I am chipping away at Elantris. Honestly, I put Elantris down this month, and I haven't picked it back up because I just haven't been in the mood for high fantasy, but I still have a little bit left of this month, and I have every intention of picking it back up and just trying to whiz through it as much as possible. And if I don't finish it this month, I'm going to finish it at the beginning of June, and then I'm going to jump into Mistborn and probably chip away slowly at this one. I've just not been in the place for high fantasy lately, but I love it so much that I don't want to not be reading a high fantasy book. So Mistborn will be the next one that I get into, and so far I'm loving Brandon Sanderson's writing. I'm going into this one without knowing much about it because I'm so excited to read it. I've heard so many great things. I just want to enjoy the story and experience it all without any kind of like minor spoilers. Every month, Murphy Napier hosts a buddy read through her Discord, and I'm taking part in that in the month of June, and they will be reading A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, and it is book one of the All Souls trilogy. I have no experience with this. I picked this up at a used bookstore back when I was in college, and then I have not ever picked it back up. It's just been on my shelf, and I thought this is the best time to pick it back up and jump into it and see what it's about. I have not read the back of it. I don't plan to read the back of it. This is another one that I'm just really excited to see what it's about. Another book that I've slowly been chipping away at is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I'm really enjoying this. I'm not far into it. I'm just maybe a chapter or two into it. But I've just been picking this up whenever I'm in the mood for something fantastical, kind of light and fun, and it's been really good so far. So I'm going to keep chipping away at this. I plan to finish this in June and then maybe pick up the second one. The next book that I've also slowly been chipping away at is The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. This writing is incredible, but this is a behemoth of a book. It is very chunky. The writing is small and the pages are huge, so it's taking me a little bit to get through this. I am really enjoying it though, and I'm just taking my time with it because the character building is slow. It's a really interesting world to be in. There's not a whole lot of plot development, so I'm just going to keep taking my time with it, and I'll finish it when I finish it. I've been getting Book of the Month books every month, and I finished one this month. I've got several now that I plan to slowly be reading, and this is one that I plan to try to get into this month. It is The Library of Legends by Janie Chang. If I finish this one, I'm going to pick up another Book of the Month book, so I will just kind of see how that goes. But this one is set during World War II, and it is the story of a group of students who have to go on a journey because where they're at, I think, is being bombed, and there's something about releasing some type of spirits. So it sounds really neat, and it's historical fantasy, I believe. So I think it's going to be really interesting, and I'm sure it won't take long. It's not a long book, so. My best friend has asked me to do a buddy read with her through the month of June, and so we are going to be trying to get through Twilight and New Moon by Stephanie Meyer since the new book is coming out, I believe, in August. We're going to try to read through the series together and chat about it, so I'll be kind of picking these up and reading them slowly. These are so quick. I read these in high school, and I absolutely loved them in high school. I don't really know how I feel about them now because I'm very far removed from having read them, so I look forward to reading these again and kind of seeing how I feel about them, and we'll see how that goes. It's been a long time. I'm also doing another buddy read of The City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. My other best friend asked me to read it with her, so I'm slowly going through this series with her, and we're chatting about them, and honestly, it's really cool being in the Shadowhunter world. I read the first one in high school, and then I never read any more of them. It's really interesting to be reading these now and see how I feel about them as an adult. That one will be an audiobook that I will be checking out from the library, most likely. I'll also be getting Mr. Penumbra's 24-hour bookstore. I don't know who that's by. I'll put it right here for you. I will be listening to it on audio. I should have that about the first week of June, so I'll be listening to it. I usually get through audiobooks very quickly. Since I do a lot at home with my children, I have a lot of time to listen to audio. I've also got Get a Life, Chloe Brown on audio that I will be listening to in the first couple weeks of June. I have quite a few books that I'm planning on getting to, that I'm planning on picking up, and I may not finish all of them, but at least I'll probably start a good majority. The only ones that I know for sure that I'm going to get through are the children's literature books, because I'm going to do a wrap-up of those and a discussion of those at the end of June. So if you're interested in children's literature, then definitely check back in for that. That seems to be it, guys. So if you have read any of these books and you want to chat about it with me in the comments below, feel free to do so, and I will see you guys next time.